Welcome back to the Leander Jackson Sports Network. I'm glad to have you here. Again, I'm your host, Lee, Coach Lee, Leander, whatever you want to call me. I'll answer to any one of three of those. Let's get into it. We got some big-time sports games that happened the night before. I mean, I seem like I'm going to be saying that a lot, on this show. Every night seems like it's going to be a big-time sports. Something happened, some breaking news, something, because sports just transcends everything. We have men's college basketball to talk about. We got some boxing news to add on. And, of course, it is Super Bowl week. We are in the middle of the week. Let's get into it. I'm going to review later in the show Super Bowl opening night, what I saw, my take on it, and some interesting things to look out for on Sunday. But before that, let's get into men's college basketball. We had a few upsets, or really one upset, that really caught my eye and caught a lot of people's eyes if you were watching the game. If you keep up with college basketball, North Carolina, the number 3 team in the country, who just came off an impressive win over Duke, who was number 7. North Carolina lost by 4 to Clemson, 80-76. Now, Clemson is a rivalry team, and a rivalry game is always going to be competitive, especially around this time, February, early March. You get these rivalry games in on a Super Tuesday, a big Monday, or a Saturday primetime game. You're going to have these type of tough battles. Am I surprised that Clemson won? A little bit because of how North Carolina's been playing, but Clemson is 15-7 currently. That win put them at 15-7. So they're what you're called sitting on the bubble. Now, when you sit on the bubble, you're one of those teams that are fighting to get in the tournament. Now, the tournament is 68 teams, and there's 120-plus teams in the country vying for those 68 spots. And Clemson needed that win, and they're going to have to get on a bit of a hot streak if they want to secure their place in the tournament. But that was a clutch win for them, 80-76. We'll see where they're at in a couple of weeks heading into the tournament. Kentucky, coming off a loss to Tennessee on Saturday by 11. They gave up 103 points. Kentucky's offense has been amazing, however, and that did not shy away. Their offense was still the juggernaut last night, 109-77 over Vanderbilt, who is 6-16. Now, again, it's a rivalry game, so regardless of the record, you're going to be playing tough. It's a rivalry team. You don't want to lose. Kentucky and Vanderbilt also are kind of close in proximity on the map, so there's a little bit of bad blood there too. Kentucky was able to handle the offensive side, scored 109 points, 109-77, so a pretty impressive win for them, a good bounce back on their part. UConn, still number 1 in the country, still the best team in the country. They just won the national championship last year, and it's looking like if the season ended today, I would put my money on UConn making the Final Four again. Now, it's extremely hard to go back-to-back national championships, let alone back-to-back Final Fours, but UConn is playing like they are the best team in the country. They prove it time and time again. 71-62. They had a tough wire-to-wire win. They never trailed in the game, and they are looking like the team again. And I would say even better than last year. Around this time of year last year, they weren't on anybody's radar to make the Final Four. Not too many people's radar. They got a 4 seed in the tournament last year. But this year, they are looking strong and looking like the number 1 overall seed headed into March. Women's college basketball on Monday night, North Carolina State, the number 3 team in the country, took on the 15th seeded Louisville Cardinals, and they got a 10-point win over Louisville. NC State, one of the top teams in women's college basketball, another team to look out for making that women's Final Four. Boxing. We got a heavyweight fight. Coming up soon. We have Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. Now, boxing is interesting. Okay, boxing is interesting. I love boxing. There has not been a unified, undisputed heavyweight champ since Lennox Lewis in 2000. And here we have the chance to see every single title, whether it's the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, the WBC championships, all of those encompassed together as one person holding the title. Undisputed heavyweight championship on the line. Now, the fight was going to happen in December. It got pushed back for whatever reason, and it was scheduled for February 17th, which, as of today, 2/7/24, it would be 10 days from now. That got moved again. To May 18th. That is the new date for the fight because Tyson Fury needed stitches on his hand. He suffered a cut during one of his sparring sessions. Now, am I mad about this? No, I'm not, because I want both boxers to be at full strength. I want to watch this fight as with no boxer giving excuses, basically. Am I disappointed that it got moved again? A little bit. I'm getting anxious. I want to see a unified heavyweight champion. I want to see, and there are too many different champions in every weight class. We gotta get these titles unified. There was a time where there weren't all these different, weight classes with the 135 pound, 140 pound, 145, 150, and each weight class had 4 or 5 different people holding different titles. You have 3 different cruiserweight champions. You have 5 different light heavyweight champions. You have 2 different middleweight champions. Now we get to see an undisputed heavyweight champion crowned. Hopefully, as long as it's no draw. Coming on May 18th, 2024. Let's pray that there is no more delays, that both fighters are healthy, nobody scratches their hands or gets a cut on their hands during sparring sessions, and that they are ready to go, because I'm ready to see a new undisputed champion crowned. But it's coming. And I will be talking about that when the time comes, but I thought you should know this news a few months in advance. So keep that on your radar. We have a heavyweight title fight coming up May 18th. Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is considered to be the lineal heavyweight champion. Lineal meaning the technical real heavyweight champion dating all the way back to the origins, the original history of boxing way back in the 1800s. All throughout history, all the great boxers, heavyweight boxers, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson, Muhammad Ali, everybody, Mike Tyson. Tyson Fury is considered the lineal champion. Now we get the unification, because there was no, Muhammad Ali's the IBF and WBO champion, and Joe Frazier is the WBA champion, and George Foreman is the WBC champion. There was one champion, one undisputed champion of the world in heavyweight boxing. And for the first time in 24 years, we will get to see that on May 18th. I'm excited. I am excited. That should be fun. Super Bowl opening night. I always watch Super Bowl opening night for one reason. I want to see, I like analyzing who looks confident, who looks scared, who looks nervous, who looks excited, who's there just to play around and joke, and who's there for business. What I saw was 2 teams by facial expressions, by their answers in the press conference, how relaxed they were, how they're taking the game seriously. The 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Kansas City Chiefs both are taking this serious like a real business trip. That's what I like to see. You come to the Super Bowl for one reason. You come to the Super Bowl weekend for one reason. Now, they're in Vegas. I'm going to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. They're in Vegas. All right? You go to Vegas for the Super Bowl, and if you know what you're there for, then you'll be fine. If you don't know what you're there for, then there's no reason for you to be there. Now, if you don't know what I mean, if you're there to gamble, if you're there to go to casinos, if you're there to, take your mind off that far from the game, you're there for the wrong reason. Super Bowl week, it's, all the festivities, all the glamour, you get highlighted by everybody. The media's there every day, asking you questions. You're there to win the Super Bowl. You're there to prepare your mind for the biggest game of your life. And both of these teams, from what I saw, unless they are masters of disguise, then from what I saw, both teams are ready. And we should expect a great game played by both squads, Kansas City and San Francisco, both alike. They both know what's at stake. The Chiefs are looking to repeat. The 49ers are looking to win their first Super Bowl since Super Bowl 29 with Steve Young, with Steve Young and Jerry Rice. It's been a long time for San Francisco, since 94. The 94 season was the last time when they won the Super Bowl. They've been to the Super Bowl twice since then. Kansas City, they're in the middle of a dynasty. They're building that dynasty up. This would be number 3, their third ring, if they can win the Lombardi Trophy. And the 49ers, for their franchise, it would be their 6th Super Bowl. It would be Kyle Shanahan's first Super Bowl as a head coach. He was a coordinator when the Falcons lost to New England. He was a coach when the 49ers lost to the Chiefs. The 49ers have always, in Kyle Shanahan's reign as head coach, seemed to have their name in the NFC Championship game. It was just a matter of getting to the Super Bowl. They're back here again. Can they get over the hump? The 49ers have not won a Super Bowl since 94. They lost to the Ravens during the Harbaugh Bowl. They lost 4 years ago to Kansas City. They're back again. Can they get the victory? Or can Kansas City continue their reign atop the NFL? And I think we're going to be ready to sit down and watch a really, really good game. I really believe that. I felt that way last year with the Eagles and the Chiefs, and I feel that way this year. We have a lot of great stars on both sides. And I think it should be fun. Here's what I saw also. Here's what I saw. Now, if you look back, don't just take my word for it. Look back at some of the highlights on YouTube. There is on NFL opening night, highlights. It seemed to me that San Francisco had a lot more fans than Kansas City. Just at the Super Bowl. I don't know how that's going to be Super Bowl Sunday. I'm sure it'll even out a little bit more. But it really seemed like it was about 70-30 San Francisco on that opening night. That stage, they brought both teams out. There were a lot of boos to Kansas City. And I have this quote here that Mahomes said while he was talking. Said, "I appreciate this, Niner fans. We're here." I like that. I appreciate that, Snyder fans. We're here. I like that. Patrick Mahomes, it seems like he knows what's about to happen on Super Bowl Sunday. There might be a lot more Niner fans, but I believe the Chiefs players as a whole are relishing in the fact that, okay, yeah, we're the villains. Okay, all right, nice. I like this. I like that. I really think that they are accepting their role as villains to the fans of the NFL. It's funny to see. It's really funny to see because looking back at 2018, the AFC Championship, New England versus Kansas City, we had the whole United States, beside Patriot fans, rooting for the Chiefs. And the Patriots beat them. Last year, after the Chiefs won, this year, I don't think anybody but Kansas City was rooting for Kansas City. The Chiefs fans were rooting for them. America's rooting against them. They defy the odds of playing on the road. They go ahead and win, and they get back to the Super Bowl, and here they are again. Dynasty in the making. They won countless times under pressure, and I think they're going to be very relaxed. The boos are not going to phase them. I don't think you could possibly see. Just keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. They might use this as extra motivation. Some of those players, I'm sure, will use it as motivation to play even more aggressive, make even more calculated decisions, and just have some of the best games of their lives. But it should be interesting. And on the flip side, the 49ers might even use that. All right, we got the crowd to our side, especially if we get the Super Bowl Sunday and it's majority Niner fans. They're going to get a sense of, all right, it's like a home game, mini home game for us, kind of. It's about 60% Niner fans or 70% Niner fans. So I think they're going to get it could go both ways. The Chiefs could use this as motivation. All right, we're going to shut y'all up. Or the Niner players could use this as, all right, the fans are on our side. We ain't going to let them down. Let's go. So it's going to be a clash. And I can't wait. Cannot wait. I want to give a shout out to Jeremiah Fennell, I believe the young man's last name, 11 years old. 11 years old, asking some of the best questions on Super Bowl opening night to all the players. He had a nice back and forth with Patrick Mahomes. They were naming their all-time teams. That's a bright kid. He knows his stuff. It's always good to see when the younger ones know about all the players. Back before their time. I've got that before as a young kid. What you know about this? What you know about Lawrence Taylor? What you know about Jim Brown? All them. I got the same thing when I was a kid. So, but that was good to see. That was probably the nice nugget from the night. That 11-year-old reporter. He was like he knew his stuff. That was pretty good. But I really am excited. I always get the closer we get to Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday, the excitedness builds up. The more excited I get. It's fun, and it's also nerve-wracking because you're like, oh, who's gonna win? I don't know. So that's always it's always a fun week. That's why I say, personally, for me, this is my favorite week of the year, sports week. Because it's almost like, you got all the other sports going on. And, it's the build-up week, right? We're building up to that moment, to that game. One thing I always do during Super Bowl week is I watch the old Super Bowl classics. Sometimes a couple classic games a year. NFL Films really has some of the best production, sports-based media that you'll ever see. If you've never seen NFL Films, just, type it in on YouTube. I have a whole bunch of NFL film DVDs. It used to show it on NFL Network all the time. It's on YouTube, as is everything else, pretty much. But you type in NFL films, Super Bowl classics, NFL film Super Bowl classics. They do an amazing job. John Facenta was the original voice of NFL films. Just amazing. Steve Sable, Ed and Steve Sable, father and son. They were the duo right there. They were amazing at putting NFL films together. So that's one thing I do every Super Bowl week. It's very, very fun. Me and my dad will sit down and watch a few of those games, and we do this every year. So there's a couple specific games that we'll tune in to watch just because it's the production wise, it's just amazing, and you feel like you're there at the game. That's what NFL films make you do. So if you've never seen NFL films, go ahead and check it out. It's not only Super Bowl, it's a whole bunch of other stuff. In basically any category, the music is top notch. The film is every video, NFL films is just amazing. Tomorrow we got Throwback Thursday. I'll give y'all a little bit more info at the beginning of tomorrow's show, what that will be looking like. And of course, we'll have some more news about the Super Bowl. We'll have a few updates around the world of sports. And until tomorrow, I'll see y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.